much amount now. But the reason why I'm doing this video so soon after doing the other one yesterday is because this turned up. Because of the COVID restrictions, shipment of firearms, well, I live in Queensland, so the shipment of firearms was, yeah, they put a stop to it because, I don't know what that's got to do with coronavirus, but anyway, that restriction apparently has eased. I got a message from Cleaver Firearms where I bought this. The nice thing about Queensland is that if you buy a firearm online, it just gets delivered by Australia Post. So there's no, like, I'm not exactly 100% sure, but I know that in some of the states it's a bit of a nightmare getting firearms shipped. It is still a bit of a nightmare getting ammunition shipped. So I think, what was it, if I can remember rightly, it would cost me, I don't know about other places, but I think it was $150 for a shipment because it's classed as dangerous goods, and it has to be shipped. Oh, you know, you never know, it might, oh yeah, cause, I don't know. I mean, you know what? If I was transporting dangerous goods, I'd be a lot happier transporting ammunition than, you know, sulfuric acid or crap like that, you know, because I'm not aware of, ammunition just doesn't go off, bang, for no reason. If a human being is able to live in the conditions that ammunition is in, then that ammunition is not going to explode. So it's a whole lot of shit. $150. So I would have to purchase a lot of ammunition to, even though Cleavers have got some excellent prices, yeah. But I'm looking possibly to actually buying some ammunition online from Cleaver, because my attempts at making ammunition for this are not going very well. Yeah, I'm having problems with the inside diameter of the cases. They're all brand new cases. The inside diameter, they look like 3220s that have been machined, because they have been put in a lathe. They have been lathe machined. So I don't think they're proper 310 cases. So I might, and Cleaver actually sells factory ammo, 310 factory ammo. It's actually 32 caliber, 319, 318, 319. It's not 310. I don't know why they do that. Yeah. Anyway, so this is the Martini 310 Cadet. Now, these were originally made and used by Australian military cadets. I don't know if it was just Army cadets or Navy as well, and Air Force. I have no idea, but I know that that's why it's called the 310 Cadet. Yeah, it's quite a small rifle. I mean, that stock is really tiny. It's meant for kids, you know. So this one was, they said it was in, I think it was in excellent condition. I can't remember now, or excellent bore. I'm about to find out how good the bore is. I had a quick look. It's a bit hard because of the action. It's a bit hard to get a light. I haven't got one of those, yeah, tiny lights to get in there, a bore light. So what I'm going to do is take the action out and try and shove the smallest torch that I could find in there to have a good look at the bore, because what I could see of it, it was pretty good. Now, there are Martinis and there are Martinis. There were Martini Henrys, there were Martini... The Martini Henry was the 455, 450/577, the caliber that it was in. The Martini Enf, and that had Henry type rifling. I think it's similar to Ballard. I can't remember. Then what they did was that the British, then what they did was they converted when the advent of smokeless powders came along, which because the Martini was right on the cusp of that change. So they went from black powder in the I'm pretty sure it was black powder in the 450 577s to smokeless powder in 303. So what they did was they got the Martini Henrys, rebarreled them, and so they could shoot 303s. And I think they must have done some, yeah. And there's a gent at my my gun club who's actually got one, and he said he was willing to sell it to me for bugger all, for like $350, and they're not that common, so I'm really happy about that. Now, so I intend to get a 303. I'm not interested in getting a. I'm interested in getting a Martini Enfield 303, not the 455-77 Henry, because yeah, they're a nightmare to make ammunition. 303 ammunition is readily available here in Australia. Probably one of the most common calibers. Used to be, because there was so much surplus firearms around, and componentry and everything. And it's just so easy, a lot easier. And it's going to be more accurate anyway, and you know. But anyway, so this is the 310 Cadet. Now there are Martinis and there are Martinis, because it was sort of just redesigned and altered by a few times. This is because Martini was originally the guy was originally from Switzerland. Now there's a guy I'm pretty sure he's Belgian. His name is Francot, Francottte. And what Mr. Francot did is that he redesigned. Well, he didn't redesign. Well, he did. Yeah, he redesigned the action. So it's essentially still the same falling block action, but what he did was he redesigned it and made it a lot simpler. And there's actually a company I only found this out not long ago. There's a company in the United States called Damco, DAMCO. They make modern day renditions of Martinis, and their action is sort of it seems to be a hybrid between the Francot and the normal Martini action. Normal Martini action, you need to remove a few screws to get the action out, whereas with this thing, there's, just put a line on it so you can, that looks like a screw, a flathead screw. There's one pin on the receiver. It looks like a flathead screw. It's not a screw. It's actually a split pin. It's a split pin with a round circlip, and which holds it in place at this end. So I have to bash it out that way. I'll get something to chuck this on. Not too worried about doing a lot of damage to this thing, because I'll just fire the trigger. And that pin comes out pretty easily and just pops out. And so I have not taken this rifle apart at all yet, so I'm finding out a lot about it. So I don't know if you can see that or not, but it is split. Alright, so it's just a split pin, and it's not a circlip, it's just a race section. And because the pin is split almost all the way, that race section, when you're knocking it in, it goes in and then pops out and sits in there in a recess inside the receiver. So there's a screw. Now this action, all I should have to be able to do is open the action, and it should just come out. There you go. And it did. That's good. That's good. Now, it's pretty, yeah, it's filthy. There's a little bit of surface rust here and there, but generally speaking, this is in really good condition. It looks pretty good. It looks really good, actually. And in there, let's have a look. Yeah, there's a little bit of mixture of rust and oil and whatnot, but yeah, it's not pitted anywhere, which is nice. Not too much damage. So let's see. Let's have a look at the bore. Yeah, that looks, rifling is quite distinct. There doesn't appear to be any pitting that I can, oh that's better. I can't see any pitting at all. The rifling is, it's obviously worn, but it's quite prominent. That looks excellent. That's a really, really good bore. And this, let's see if I can get some info about this rifle. So there was a couple of companies that in Britain that made it for Australia. One was, I think, Wesley Richards, but the main one was Birmingham Small Arms. And this is made there's actually a misspelling, or the stamping is a bit strange. Looks like it says made pie. Made by the Birmingham Small Arms Company Limited, trademark BSA. Oh, is there anything? Now there's a small, I don't know what that is. What is that? I don't know what that says. Let's have a look. Is that some sort of mark? I wasn't aware that. I don't know what that mark is. Is it SA? Might be. I was told this is a Victorian rifle, but I think that says it's a stamp with SA in it. I don't know what that is. Let's see what it says on this side. Turn around so I don't have to read it upside down. Just drinking coffee. Commonwealth of Australia. It's got D, the military arrow, and a D, which is Department of Defence, I'm assuming. Now there's two different serial numbers on this gun. There's 2201, must have been the original serial number. There's 2201 on the receiver, 2201 on the barrel next to it, and then there's another number 2395. I'm going to have to do some research into why it's got two serial numbers, but I don't know, it might have been, yeah, I don't know what they did with it. Is that a mark or is that pitting? I don't know, it's a crown with, yeah, I'm not sure what that mark is. And another crown, probably VR, I'm assuming, because it shouldn't be, because I think Queen Victoria was dead when these things were getting made. Now, I don't actually have, there doesn't appear to be any, I don't know when this was made. So, then the stock's got, what's it got? The Department of Defence thing with a 02395 stamped into the stock. And there's another number here, 4.09 with some weird ass shape, looks like a mustache, straight mustache. I don't know what that is. So, I'm a complete novice with these things. I can tell that this is the old pattern. I think there were two patterns. There was the old pattern and then the new pattern. What's that? That's a C. I can tell this is the old pattern because of the rear sight. The newer pattern has got a much more elaborate front sight, rear sight. This is that spring is still good. Oh yeah, everything works fine on this, like mechanically, which is really, really nice. And what's this say on the barrel further up? Made by the Birmingham Small Arms Company. I've got no date reference on this thing at all that I'm aware of. So the stock itself, the forestock and the butt stock are pretty beaten up. That's yeah. Yep. It's 100 years old, so hey, you got to be realistic. But I'm going to take it completely apart and clean it properly. There's nothing on the escutcheon. There's an escutcheon there that where the end of the lever goes in. And none of the yeah. I'm not sure what's going on there. There's a pin there. I wasn't aware of that. Oh, that's probably holding the forestock in place. So I'll find out the hard way. But this is really, really nice. The rear sight works fine. The front band and sling swivel, the front cap is fine. The rear sling swivel is fine. It's still got the butt cap. Yeah, I'm really impressed with it. I really like it. It has got a, like, someone's dropped it head first and just on the edge. Is that? I want to get that re-crowned because that crown looks pretty crap. So there we go. I've always had a massive fascination with martinis. Maybe it's because I grew up watching movies like, all the Rudyard Kipling stuff, the Victorian era stuff that was really good, like Man Who Would Be King, where the martini is pretty well highlighted. Zulu Dawn, those movies, and they were using the martinis. And I've always had a fascination, and I have said previously that if I had millions of dollars, I would start a company that makes reproduction martinis, probably Martini Enfields, and just chamber them in rimmed calibers like 303 and the Hornets and things like that. I wouldn't be worried about modern calibers. Yes, I've always had a fascination, and I've always wanted to get at least one martini. So after June, that chap I was talking about, after June, who's got the 303, I'll give him a call, because he said I'll wait till after June. All this stuffing around with the regulations and everything, won't be able to transfer it anyway. So what I'll do is give him a call and say, hey, sell me your gun. And so I'll have two martinis. Maybe down the track I'll get a 450 577 Martini Henry, but I'm in no. There's actually a cavalry carbine for sale. It's been for sale for a while on I think Rebel Gunworks has got it. Whoops, shouldn't have said that. Now someone's going to go and buy it, but they want like $1,275 for it. Now, there's no mention of how the bore is. That in the description it says, it's in really good condition, so we assume that the bore is in really good condition too. Yeah. The problem is that they're very rare. The cavalry carbines, it's not a cavalry carbine, it's an artillery carbine. Yeah, the cavalry and the artillery got carbines issued, and so they're pretty rare. And there's sort of a nostalgic thing inside me that's saying buy it, because I was in artillery for a while. So I'm definitely getting that 303, the Martini Enfield off that chap. And but now I've got this. I've got the 310. It's just a matter of organising ammunition for it, because it's been a nightmare. Not knowing any better, the dies that I bought, the dies that were advised on one channel that I saw was Super Simplex dies, Australian made. It's an Australian company, Simplex. And what I wasn't aware of is the Super Simplex dies are not the same thread as every other 7/8 or whatever. These are, I think, 5/8, the Super Simplexes. So you have to. So then I found that out. So I had to wait. ordered an, and I, you know what? No, this is after I've just bought it. I was actually at the gun club and I was talking to that chap about the Martini, and he said, "Oh yeah, you don't buy the Super Simplex, you buy the Simplex." And I was like, "Yeah, that would have been nice to know." So if you are looking to buy, because you're gonna have to eventually make some ammunition yourself. If you want them, because I've also got a Lee set, but yeah, I don't know about that Lee one. And they're not really listed, but you can get them. I can't remember how I got it, but anyway, or who I got it off. But if you are ordering dies, don't get, unless, well, you can. There's nothing stopping you from getting Super Simplex, but you'll need an adapter. So get the not Super Simplex, just Simplex. That'll be the right thread. Yeah, which was never mentioned. I don't recall anyone ever mentioning that, so be careful. But in any case, I can't wait to get this cleaned up. Ammo, either buy the ammo or make it myself when I figure out what the hell is going on. Because but in any case, this is in really good nick, and I'm really, really happy because I actually, it turned up this morning and honk honk, and I was actually asleep. So I've gotten out of bed, still half asleep, and she hands me a box, and it's like, what the hell is this? And then I realised, oh yeah, it's a 310 Cadet. So yeah, I can't wait to get this shooting and have a ball with it. There's just something about the Martini action that's just, I don't know what it is. It just, I love it. I really do, really, really love it. And I'm so happy to have this. Such a handy little rifle. I mean, this is going to be really, realistically, probably knocking over rabbits and foxes and stuff like that. Yeah, I've seen people shoot, or they've claimed to have shot pigs with it, but maybe in the head. But, yeah, I don't know. There's not a whole lot of oomph behind the old 310 Cadet. Like 32, it's virtually the same ballistics as the 3220. So yeah, you can hunt with it, but yeah, I don't know. But yeah, so I'm really, really happy. So you're not going to see much information about this until I've been able to go to a range and shoot it. The range that I go to and shoot it. Anyway, I'll keep you posted and see you later.